My friends, what's going on everyone? My name is Kai. Thank you for stopping by. It means the world to me. Thank you. Okay guys, this is my new series, Video Game Memories. In this video, I'm going to talk about my best and worst memories growing up as a kid in the 90s, retro gaming at its finest. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Today, we're going to talk about a game that's a little less popular, but really means a lot to me. Today, we're going to be talking about Duke Nukem Zero Hour. Guys, great game. Duke Nukem is 100% a time capsule character. I don't think that Duke could work today at all. But I think that there would be a small cult fan group that would really enjoy some new Duke stuff. I really enjoy Duke. Duke, when I was young, was kind of my Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know? I wasn't allowed, I've talked to you guys about not being allowed to play teen-rated games and mature-rated games. Well, there is something that I haven't told you about that. I definitely played a lot of teen and mature rated games. I just wasn't allowed to rent them when I was a kid, you know? When I was young, I was raised basically half by my parents and half by my grandmother. I've talked about it a couple times on the channel. My parents were musicians, so they were on tour a lot, especially during the summer months or just the nice months. They were on tour a lot. So what we would do, my sister and I, we would go to school like normal, and then on Friday evening after school and after dinner, my dad would drive us to our grandma's house, who lived in Toronto, and so it was about an hour away from the town that I live in here. They would drop us off there, and then on Monday morning, they would come and pick us up and bring us to school. And then during the week, we would stay with my mom and dad, and then on the weekend, when they were away playing shows, we'd stay with my grandma. So, my grandma didn't have a sense of the teen ratings and the mature ratings, and even when I was very young, my grandma was still old, you know? My grandma passed away when she was 96 years old, so even when I was young, she was in her 70s, right? So she was older, she didn't quite understand that, and my parents weren't going to explain it to her, whatever, right? Well, we had a computer. My grandma had a computer. Me personally, my family only got internet when I went to high school, which was when I was, like, you know, 13, 14 years old. But my grandma was kind of on top of the internet right when it came out. So we always had internet at my grandma's house. And one thing that that I was able to do was I was able to get my hands on floppy disks of Doom and Duke Nukem 3D. You know, my cousin was a gamer. He lent me floppy disks. I brought them to my Oma's house. I installed them. There you go. So, I was very aware of Duke Nukem, but I couldn't really tell my dad about it, you know? I couldn't tell my dad, hey, I'm playing this really cool, bloody game where there's lots of swear, you know, it's not something I can share because I don't want him to take it away from me, right? So, when I saw this at the video store, I thought that it was the game that I had been playing the whole time on my Oma's computer. So my dad was looking at it, and he was considering renting it. And I told him, oh, Dad, that's I've heard that's a really good game. Like in the magazines that I read, I heard that it's a really good game. I've never played it, but I heard that it's good, you know, so you should definitely rent it, right? As I've said before in videos, my bedroom was right above the staircase, which looked over the living room. So when I went to bed, my dad would do his video gaming, and if I snuck out of my room and kind of sat on the top of the stairs, I could see what my dad was playing on the TV, right? That was my exposure to those video games. So he rented it, and I was all excited, right? Because I wanted to see my dad play the game that I had been playing. And he popped it into the console one night, and it wasn't anything like the game that I had played. It wasn't a first-person shooter. It looked almost like Mario in the sense of, you know, you're in a 3D world and it's third person, you know, it looks like you're just a character running around. And I sat there and I watched him play the first level. Now, the first level in this game is set in New York City. The story for this game is very, very cool. Basically, there's a time machine, you're battling aliens, there's a time machine that's like malfunctioning, and you're being sent to all these different time periods. So you play in the present, right? The present of 1999, right? But then you also play in the future after the apocalypse has happened and there's zombies and everything. And then you also go back in time to like the Wild West era and become a cowboy. And there's a time where you go back to London with like Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper is actually a boss in this game that you have to defeat. So you travel through a lot of different time periods, and I think that that's really, really cool. But the very first level is just New York City, you know? And for me, that was really my introduction to New York City, because I was young. I didn't really... Any movies about New York wouldn't be appropriate for me, you know what I mean? Because again, I'm like 10 years old. And so this was my first... idea of what New York City was, you know? And the first level of this game is just so memorable to me because my dad couldn't figure it out. My dad couldn't figure out the first level. And now, the levels in this game are huge. They're huge levels, so I can understand that for sure. Oh. Sorry about that. Yeah, so my dad got super lost in this, and all he could do was kind of look around, and I remember sitting at the top of the stairs there for hours and just watching, you know? And what's really cool about this level is there's different like store signs all over the place, right? There's different store signs, and they're all pop culture references. For example, you can find Uncle Morris's Family Feed Bag, which is obviously a nod to Uncle Moe's Family Feed Bag from The Simpsons. And there's tons of them. There's a Turok poster that is called like Bollocks or something like that. There's a bunch of there's a bunch of references in this game, and it's classic. So my early memories of this game was that level, and nothing more than that level. There's even a strip club in that level, but because it's on a Nintendo 64 system, they had to dumb it down pretty much. So you sneak into this place, and instead of it being like a strip club, it's just a room with posters of women in it. It's very strange. But that's a great memory. But this game is hard. I have kind of coined a term on my channel, Nintendo 64 hard. That's a game that has levels that are over a half an hour long that don't have any checkpoints. So some of these levels you can beat in 5 minutes. Some of these levels on a fast run will take you 20-30 minutes to do. And if you die, you're definitely going all the way back to the beginning. It can be very frustrating. Going forward though, this has always been like my second favorite Duke Nukem game. If you've never played this game, it's really good. If you are kind of turned off, let's say you've played the PlayStation, there's 2 third-person games for the PlayStation, Time to Kill and Land of the Babes. Those games aren't that good. They're not bad, but they're not that good. But out of the 3 third-person ones, this one is definitely the best. If you have a chance, pick it up. It's not too expensive right now. I picked it up for $35 in Canada. It's really not a super expensive game, so I would try it out. But my memories with this game, other than watching it as a child, and then replaying it as an adult, really come from you guys. Again, doing this game on live stream was a hell of a lot of fun. I met new people in the chat. It's always nice to meet. I love meeting new people. So this game brought in a lot of new people. I really enjoyed it, and for the first time ever, I beat the game. I beat the game for the very first time ever, very recently, and I thought it was great. I think that when you talk about the N64 library, when it comes to like action games, it kind of doesn't get into the first-person shooter games, obviously, because it's not, but it's very good. It's very good. You know what it's kind of like? It's like Tomb Raider. It's like Tomb Raider. If you enjoyed Tomb Raider, it's basically Tomb Raider, but with Duke Nukem. It's really good stuff. Really good stuff. But because of my memories having been with you guys, I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you so much. Hanging out with you guys, doing these videos, or doing these live streams, it really means a lot to me. I hope they put out some new Duke. One day I will do a Duke Nukem Forever live stream on the channel. But if you have a chance, play this game. Play this game, you'll get a lot of time out of it. It'll probably take you a good 10 hours to beat. It's really good. It's really good. I would definitely recommend it. Okay, that's it for today's episode. I really appreciate it. Merch time! So, guys, I just want to let you know my merch is out. If you would like, please buy one. It would really help the channel. I want to tell you guys what I'm doing with the money. So, anything that I make from donations, from AdSense, and from my merch company, anything that I make is all going into a pot. It's actually going into this mailbox. But everything is being saved, and then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to bike across Japan, across the entire country. I'm going to do it to raise awareness for men's mental health, and I could really, really use your help. What I'm going to be doing is any money raised, I'm going to be buying a bicycle, and then I'm going to bike across Japan. And then at the end of the bike ride, I'm going to sell the bike and take all the money from it and donate it to the local men's shelter in my town here. They just recently opened, and I would really like to be a part of their success. So, guys, if you want to help out a great cause, consider buying yourself a shirt, consider buying a super thanks, send some love. It really makes a lot of difference. I really appreciate it. Other than that, guys, have a great day. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next live stream. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching そばリビング